So, what are values, right? Um, so, values are essentially a set of beliefs and guiding principle that shapes the culture and also define the identity of the school. Now, essentially, values are a set of guiding principle, and this set of guiding principle actually has its influence all the way from curriculum to the behaviors of students and staff. And the values is also the foundation upon which the school culture is derived from. The process of thinking about this is that the values describe what and how each and every one of us in the school will behave, and that collective behavior in our organization, in our school, the way that we interact with one another, the way we help one another, that will define our school culture is. But before we get ahead of ourselves, let's look at what essentially are the values and the process of how we go about doing it, right? So as I mentioned earlier, values are a set of beliefs and guiding principle, and this set of belief and guiding principle will then guide the behaviors as well as the decision that we will make. Individually as well as an organization. So many a time you would hear school or organizations that will say that, oh, we are a value-centric organization, and hence these are the things that we will do, or in other words, these are the things that we will not do. All right, so that's the set of beliefs and guiding principle. And in the context of the school, I think what is even more important is that this set of values should reflect the core beliefs as well as the priorities that provide the framework, if you like, for creating a positive and supportive learning environment. So when we are thinking about this set of values itself, at the back of our mind, we will also want to ask ourselves, how does this contribute to a positive and a supportive learning environment in our school? All right. And so with that, let's look at what are some of the consideration factors that you need to take into account when identifying our values. So first up, values that are, if you like, two categories of values, right? So one set of category, it's what we talked about, it's character values, and another set of values are what we call performance values, right? And in each category of the character as well as the performance, there are some that are focused on self, and there are some that are focused on others. So let's take a look at some examples of character values itself, right? So the character values could be, based on this list of examples that you see here, right? And this, if you like, these are very much a reflection of what kind of people, what kind of character, what kind of individuals are our students, right? And this set of values are something that would describe their character itself. Now, as compared to a list of performance values, these are the set of performance values that we are looking at. So a common question that people ask me is that, how could you tell which one is a character value and which one is a performance value? And the answer that I give to that question is as follows. When you have a value and you can still do harm to others, then that is a performance value, right? That is a performance value. So as an example, tongue in cheek, right? If you have a value of being creative, you can be creative, but you can be creative in a manner that helps me, or I can be creative in a manner that hurts you. And so when this value doesn't pass the test of can I have that value and still do harm, then that is a performance value, right? So you want to have, I wouldn't say an equal amount, but you want to have a mixture of both character as well as performance values. And the other consideration that you really want to take into account is the fact that this set of values, you want to ask yourself, how does this set of values support our vision and mission? So, as an example, let's say in our vision statement itself, one of the key element that we want to see in our students is that we want them to be a self-directed learner. And so, what are some values of a self directed learner? Well, the self directed learner must display some level of resilience, right? And the self directed learner also must have a sense of curiosity. And so, with this two itself, with these two values, both character as well as performance value, that is how it helps our student achieve that end goal of being a self directed learner. So the question that we want to ask ourselves is, how do these values support our vision and mission? Now, with all that being said, let's go ahead and start crafting our values, right? And so, once again, I'm going to give you a template. You'll find this template accompanying this video itself. So, the first thing that I want to ask you is, what are the key behaviors and attitudes that you want to encourage in your students and staff? Now, notice the word I use is encourage. What that means is that there could be some elements of it already manifesting in our school. There could be some elements of it, but it could be pockets of it only, right? And so what we want to do is we want to encourage more of these behaviors and attitudes. And why do we want to encourage more of these behaviors and attitudes? Because this will enable us to achieve our vision and also fulfill our mission, right? So, what are the behaviors and attitudes that you want to encourage in both your students and staff? And also, you want to brainstorm a list of both character as well as performance values. Like I'm saying, it doesn't have to be an equal amount for each category itself. You may see that in the context of your school, a character value is more important than performance value, whereas in another school, they may see that a performance value is more important than character value. So sometimes it could be a combination of 1:3 or 3:1. It doesn't matter. What matters most is that what are the set of beliefs and guiding principles that we want in our school to help us work towards our vision. All right. So looking ahead, and I look forward to seeing what you have come up with based on that list that I've provided you with. And I'll talk to you soon. Bye bye.